All right, guys, we got something really fun planned for today. We ordered a Pint S yesterday and it's here today. So let's go tell Jeff and let's ride this thing. Come on. Yo, Hefe. Dude, the Pint S is already here.
I ordered it 24 hours ago.
Yeah.
Hey, we're filming.
We're filming. Let's go, dude.
I got my helmet. Good thing. Let's go rip. Let's go rip. Let's rip.
Oh.
Stoked you guys plugged it in because it comes at 30. So awesome. Okay, let's check it out. It's dark in here. Julian, why is your office so dark and weird? Oh,
A little bit better?
I can't hang up. I gotta answer it, right?
There you go.
Hey, honey. We just got the Pint S and we're in the middle of filming right now.
Pint.
Back to a regular schedule.
But with an S.
The difference between the Pint S and the Pint X comes stock with flared foot pads. So these are the wider foot pads. They are not the soft ones. They're the hard ones. So there's that. Comes with a new tire they just made that's the performance treaded for the Pint. So it fits a 6-inch hub. Technically, you could put this on an XR hub, but that might be like way sketch. You can put it on a growler. That would totally work. And then the mag handle. The mag handle is metal, so it's the mag handle Pro instead of the mag handle plastic, which is the standard.
Check those bumpers out.
Stock bumpers. Not
Stock bumpers, not
Okay.
free ride bumpers. They are 100% stock bumpers. So that's what you get. So it's $300 extra because the regular Pint X just dropped in price to $1,100. This is $1,400. So same price that the Pint X was like a week or two ago. And it comes with these cool black rails. So same rails, same everything, well, the firmware's different. The firmware is different. But one thing I noticed, I did cheat and sneak in here and check the battery level and open the app before we all just rolled in. And I noticed something actually pretty interesting. So during the launch video, they talked a bunch about custom shaping.
Okay.
For this, right? And they're like, well, you know, there's sick custom shaping on it. We've been spending months and months and months making it. They went through like 70 or 80 iterations of the firmware to get it right and all that, right? And I noticed on the custom shaping, it was interesting because, you know, you saw it on the launch video and then they actually mentioned it in the podcast today, but it's not the same custom shaping that's on the GT. It's sort of more based on like the custom shaping of the XR. But it does have a couple of the features of the GT, like the single zone activation and things like that. But one interesting thing, oh no, you're not gonna make me go through this again. Hang on, I gotta learn how to dismount and what pushback is. There is no custom shaping on this board currently. So this board ships without custom shaping on it. So I thought from the video that this board had the new firmware and custom shaping, but that the custom shaping for the Pint X and the new firmware for the Pint X comes at a later date in like 3 to 4 weeks. That's not the case. Because from what I'm seeing, at least right here, there is no custom shaping on this board right out the gate.
Hey guys, quick editor's note here. Jeff ended up deleting his app and reinstalling it from the App Store. Ended up getting the updated version from it and now has custom shaping and shows X/X, XS. It's whatever, man. It shows it. Okay, bye.
Regardless, it looks like it says Pint X in mine. Maybe you have to update the app. Maybe it's just, it is what it is. But I've got Simple Stop enabled. I'm on Pacific X because I haven't ridden Pints in so long, man. But Pacific was like the one. Skyline was,
It's too aggressive.
Skyline, right?
I feel like, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
Skyline X is too tight. It's too tight,
Yeah.
especially with the X with the bigger battery too. And I'd imagine they say this is even punchier than the X. So I would really imagine then that Skyline's gonna be way too tight for us. So Pacific it is. Well, here we go. We should test freewheel speed first off. Here, freewheel that sucker.
Watch your eyes.
Woo!
38.
What is a Pint
smokes.
X freewheel at?
38 seems very aggressive.
Or pretty up there.
I mean, that means that technically this board could hit 30, 32 miles an
That's
hour.
what the GT freewheel's at.
Nah, GT or the GT.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, you're right. So that freewheel's at the same speed as the GT. That's pretty terrifying. Uh-oh, I'm not seeing any foot pad activation on that. We might have to go replace that foot pad with a different one.
Well, free wheels.
Well, let us know in the comments what a normal Pint X freewheel's at, because apparently we should know that, but we don't. We just don't ride Pints ever, so there you go. Let's go ride it. But you know what we gotta do every single time we get a new board in the shop, right?
Dude, drop it off the table.
We gotta drop the table,
drop
right?
it.
Well, you're more than welcome to lick the tire. It's like really greasy.
Oh, here he goes. This is our guy. This is our
Tire
guy.
tastes like. Should I just go for the center line, you know, or like get
in the tread, baby. Get in the tread.
edges in
Yeah,
here?
get in there. Oh, dude.
Does it taste like?
Does it taste like Taiwan? Tastes like a factory tire?
I would say it doesn't taste quite as good as a fresh Enduro, but that's just me. That's just me.
We should talk about this tire a little bit though, because this is a new tire. And you know, like Neil said, it's his favorite performance tire that they've made out of what, the 6.5, the 6-inch, and now the other 6-inch, but for the Pint. One thing I noticed on all the other performance tires, there's a dip in the middle of it, and this one doesn't have that dip in the middle. So I'm thinking right out the gate, this one is going to ride better, because that dip in the middle, I feel like makes tires ride not as good and puts a squirrel on them when you kind of get out on edge there a little bit. So I got a feeling this tire is actually going to ride pretty good. Looks like the shape's pretty decent too. The sidewalls feel pretty good. It's a little more pumped up than I would like, but whatever. Okay, I guess I'm ready to hurt my feet and break my freaking ankles. Oh, why couldn't they give me the soft ones? This is gonna suck. Oh, dude, I got a duck. I got a duck on this one too.
Make sure you don't goose.
Okay, just stand at the corner so I don't kill the corner.
Definitely don't goose. You got to duck.
Oh, shoot. Hold the table, hold the table. Oh, yeah. Oh, that hurt my front foot so bad. But hey, it took that like a champion. Took it like a champ. The bottom of my foot is totally numb right now because that sucker slapped me good, but it's good to go. But that didn't even tail drag or anything. It didn't nose drag, didn't tail drag. It was super bolts.
That was bolts, yeah. It was pushing the table back. Like, I was holding it the wrong way. I should have held the front legs.
I'm also switching back to Pacific. Yeah, I noticed it was like I was going forward, but it was just the table moving underneath
action,
me.
Yeah.
Okay, first things first, we gotta let air out of this tire. This sucker is hard. That's probably like 12 now. It's a pretty solid spot. Okay, couple things. I forgot to check the diagnostics page. Our hardware is 7325 and our firmware is Gemini 5200. Also, we were able to get the other Pint X working, and that foot pad is just ghosting because it does that. And it freewheeled at what, 29 miles an hour? 29 miles an hour versus 38 of this. Now, a couple things. I, always would have trouble with the Future Motion foot pads with activation. These ones activate fantastic so far. And there's no single zone activation. It's still the dual zone, and I like always do single zone. As a matter of fact, I do posi on everything, but it's still, oh, missed one. That's my first miss though. So far, it seems like the foot pads activate pretty great on this, so that's really nice. All in all, the foot pads feel good too. Like they're hard, I don't like that, but they're nice and wide.
You can't turn on single foot pad until that update comes out? Yeah.
Until, custom shaping comes out. Yeah. One other thing I wanted to check is I heard that it's got better low speed turning. So, usually with the Future Motion firmware, you go to turn and the corner just digs in and you just stop and fall over. But I heard this one is way better. So let's see.
So maybe when the update hits.
Maybe when the update comes out. Maybe when the update comes out and we can custom shaping and change the carvability or something, but
like some ATR where it's supposed to pick your nose up.
Yeah, it's maybe a little better. Yeah, it seems a little better. Seems a little better. All right, well, should we go for a little?
Let's go rip it.
Little ripper. Let's see. She'll hit a little blunt fakie.
Yeah.
Whoa! Oh, it's fired.
Picked you up though.
Fired back.
Noise down.
Huh. You definitely hear the mag handle rattling, for sure. Yeah, we noticed these foot pads kind of have a lip on them right here, which I thought was kind of interesting. And Ryan's thinking maybe it's the rail guards on this will actually make it flush, which makes sense.
But they also just got that wide body vibe,
Yeah, also these bumpers just getting chewed already. We're already into the center, but that's what it is. That's stock, stock bumpers. Are we nudge testing?
The classic nudge spot.
The classic nudge spot. It's gonna climb over that like crazy. Here's my prediction though. It's gonna climb real nice and then it's gonna tail drag out of it.
We'll see.
That's my prediction, but we'll see. Maybe I'll be surprised.
No tail drag.
No
tail drag. Actually held pretty
Zero
nose down
tail
on that.
drag.
It rode out a little more nose down than I thought it was gonna ride. All right, let's see how she handles the bonks.
Oh,
pretty smooth. Oh, Yo, it nose hunts hard after slashes. That was crazy. Yeah, that was weird. It's like it slashed and threw up a nice cloud and then just rode super nose heavy. There we go. It was better that time for sure.
Looked better for sure.
Way better that time. I don't know what that was. It was almost like I slashed into a hole and then it changed the pitch angle and then just like held it on the ground the whole way. Because it just rode nose into the ground that whole entire way. And the low speed torque feels pretty good on it. Definitely gets over stuff. Yeah, blunt's nice. It does have that GT feature though, where you try to ghost ride it and do cool stuff and then it just like straight locks up on you.
First impressions?
It's a fun little pocket rocket for sure. It's way, like the foot pads are great. Foot pads are great right out of the factory.
Yeah, they feel sick.
Yeah.
How's the tire? What's your first impression of the tire?
Tire's not bad. I got to put some more miles on it, but out the box, it does not feel bad. It feels good. I mean, it feels almost exactly like a Pint Enduro.
Okay.
Like it feels like almost exactly like it.
Definitely better than the freaking marble that comes on the other one.
It blows the Unili out of the water for sure. It's a good tire. It's a good tire.
It is.
Yeah, so far. Oh, Jesus. Hey. Forget the tire's a little smaller.
Sketch. Oh, sideways.
Big nudge time?
Oh.
Look, I think it'll make it. Like,
Oh.
oh, it hit hard. Okay, we're good. Oh God, it's hitting the front so hard. That's the problem with these bumpers, man. I don't see why they did it like this. Like I get the back, why the back had to be flat because like they had to extend the battery box down, but the front, there's no reason at all why the front is this thick with a big flat spot in the front. That doesn't make sense to me, but it is what it is. I'm gonna do one more. I'm gonna have to really get on the back tail maybe and scoop it up.
Oh, it's so close.
I don't think she wants to go. It hits the front and just like, it's like it's into just a brick wall.
It's
Because
so
the front of the
close.
bumpers are flat.
Yeah, the tire's not even getting a chance to grab.
Yeah, if I do that too much more, we're just gonna brick this board and then our fun time's over. So let's go do some other stuff first. Well, I could probably climb up this little guy.
Yeah,
though.
get the little.
Oh, easy. Yep.
Oh, fired back harder than I thought it would. All right, let's go test the pushback speed of this thing. That's what I'm really curious on. I am very, very curious on pushback. So they advertise it as 20 miles an hour top speed. And what they've done in the last few years, at least, they always advertise their top speed as their pushback speed, right? So you've got, GT advertises at 20, right? Top speed 20, 19 to 20 is right there when the pushback starts. GTS 25, that's right where the pushback and haptic buzz starts. So this, they're advertising at 20. It can freewheel the same speed as a GT. So I would think that pushback would be right at 20 and that it could basically go as fast as a GT is kind of what I'm thinking. Which I don't know if I'm going crazy today on this thing, but we need to at least push it past 20 and see where it goes. All right, 16, 17, 18. Oh, whoa, that was crazy. So yeah, I'm getting pushback, it seems, kind of at the same place that the Pint X normally gives it. Let's try that again. 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yeah, it starts to give me a little pushback at 18, and then at 19, I get heavy haptic buzz. So haptic buzz starts at 19, and it seems like pushback starts at 18, at least in these conditions. But let's go to our street where we got a longer, straighter shot and we can kind of hold it at that pushback speed for a bit and even push past it a little bit. And wait, hold on a second. What we should do is we should check the shapings. Maybe Pacific is a lower shaping with a lower top speed, you know what I'm saying? And Skyline is the one that we actually need to test. Yeah. But that would be weird because like Pacific's supposed to be like the flow or the mission of Pint, right? But let me see. Elevate, oh. Weird. It's still on Pint X mode in here. So when I click Pint X mode, when I click on like elevated, even Skyline says max speed of 18. So I'm guessing when the update comes out, although I thought it would have shipped with all the stuff, but I guess not. Okay. So Skyline claims max speed of 18. So does Pacific. So here we go. 16, 17. Yeah, pushing into 18 is where, yep, 18, and right as soon as you hit 19, you start to get haptic buzz as well. So that's kind of strange. Maybe that's gonna get fixed. Maybe that's gonna get fixed with the update. I assume it's going to, because on the podcast they were talking about, no, maybe not in the podcast, in the launch video, you know, they were saying, hey, 20 miles an hour is sort of the sweet spot to cruise at. So being able to comfortably cruise at 20 is a game changer. However, that's not the case, because at 20, that's 19. Dude, look at the pushback level at 19. Dude, that's the push. Whoa, that is sketchy. Okay, ugh. It starts at 18, haptic buzz starts at 19, and then at 20, you're just full on Captain Morgan like crazy. Well, let's go over the bridge. Let's go over the bridge, why not? I gotta say, like, this board feels solid. It's a solid little ripper. I love the wider foot pads. It feels bigger. It definitely feels bigger than a regular Pint X, and especially bigger than a regular Pint, so that's nice. It's like a great little city cruiser, but I'm pretty disappointed that the pushback starts at 18 and the haptic buzz starts at 19 and you can't ride at 20 comfortably without it just full on Captain Morganing. That's kind of lame, but hopefully that gets fixed in the update. That might get fixed in the update, very possible. You remember right when the GT came out and we were like, oh, the tail drag's horrible, the pushback is way too aggressive, and then they dialed both of those things way back. Hopefully they do the same with this in the next update. I'm assuming they will. I'm assuming that's gonna get fixed, but I don't think the tail drag's bad on it, at least from what we've hit so far. But what we should do is we should go down here to that bonk underneath on the other side of the bridge, the bonk to downhill, hit that, see if it tail drags down the hill, and if it does, then bummer. And if it doesn't, then we'll give our thumbs up. All right, let's go get that. This is kind of disappointing. I was trying to climb up this hill right here. Maybe we're waiting for the update and we need gradient tracking, but getting up this hill right here was there we go. Could barely make it last time. I tried to slow speed it and it just haptic buzzed out on me. Yeah, I gotta say Neil was right. The tire feels good.
Feels really good.
Yeah, I would agree. So, I mean, I'm not a fan of the performance tire on the GT, the 6.5 and the 6 version. I just don't like it, because I think that dip in the middle of tires, like something that I learned early on when we were making tires, was a dip at the center line or crown of the tire actually causes it to kind of stick in the middle. And then when you do break to the edge, if you get into any weird chonky stuff and kind of float back and forth between them, it causes a ton of wobble. And so, like, I learned that early on, so I've never liked that dip in the middle and the crown. And then those have it, this one doesn't have it, and this one rides really nice, actually. So, oh, I was curious on the width of this thing too. Oh, it claims 10.5, 4.5, 6, which is maybe right. Might be closer to 5 on the width, but yeah, okay. It's not a bad tire. I actually like this one the best out of all the performance tires. Neil's totally right. See, it wheelies hard on those. You know, I have a feeling that the next update is the one that they're talking about that fixes the tail drag. I have a feeling, because I mean, that sort of simulates a bonk a little bit. You know, when you pop that? And it goes backseat hard on that. Acid drop.
Yep.
Oh, finger flip. Didn't see that coming. I thought you were just gonna straight up acid drop it. I don't know if it'll activate good on those though.
Yeah. I was thinking maybe,
Gotta hold
but
the sensors.
I know.
maybe once single zone.
Yeah.
Maybe once single zone comes in. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was just right on bolts.
All right, let's go hit that bonk so we can finish being outside in 102 degree heat.
Yeah.
All right, you guys want to hit it to kind of show what it's supposed to look like? Yeah. So this is a good one because it is a fairly steep downhill landing. You know, it's somewhat high consequence. There's a bunch of broken glass.
Is there a bunch of glass right now?
Bro, it's pretty homelessy down there.
Dude, oh
There might be needles too. Watch out.
In the chocolate!
Chonkies!
Yeah. Oh, that nose got low.
Yeah, it like picked your tail up. It
Yeah.
looks pretty
Wow,
good though.
surprisingly, that handled
That
better
was
than
weird.
I thought.
Yeah, maybe I was just so worried about the tail dragging that I favored the nose. Let me try it again.
Crank that. More
yeah.
tail.
Normal.
Yeah.
Pretty normal. That's the thing with it. It doesn't always tail. If it always tail dragged the same way, you could expect it.
Yeah.
The issue that I've always had is it's not predictable. Sometimes it skids out tail, and sometimes it lands bolts, and sometimes it gets a little nose heavy. But I don't see any reason why I shouldn't do one more.
Dude.
Right? We got to get a good sample size here.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't just hit it twice and call it a day.
Whoa.
Yeah, that one got a little tail draggy, but it pulled up. It didn't ride out crazy.
Nice. Whew. Feels pretty good on the bonk, not gonna lie. Ooh.
Go bigger, dude.
I'm trying,
bigger,
I'm trying.
Blast it.
Yup.
There it is.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you say go huge on it? Oh my god. Go big, dude. Go big, yeah.
Oh. Yeah. Not bad, not bad. Yeah. Overall, it's like super fun, honestly. Like, it's way better than the Pint X. I mean, I'm gonna say this, I feel like I said this with the GT. It's like, it's what the Pint X should have been, you know?
Do you think this is as big of a step up from the Pint X to the new Pint S as the GT to the GTS?
I wanna probably say no, only because I feel like the speed really wasn't all that much different, you know? I feel like that was like the main thing I noticed between like GT and GTS is like the
headroom?
The headroom and the amount of power that I felt like is noticeably different from like going on a GT to a GTS. It's like just that like mileage from 0 to 20. It's like, I feel like it feels completely different. Like,
yeah, the GTS pulls from like 10 to 20 way harder than the GT does, for sure.
like this definitely pulls like a little bit more than an X, but
Does it though?
but like it doesn't feel like
Does it, or is it just like a placebo, you think?
It might just be placebo, you know?
Because it still has quite a bit of rubber banding in it.
Yeah.
When you gas it and then its torque catches up on you, it's not just like that instant torque like you get on the GTS, or an instant torque like you get on like higher voltage, or even the same voltage VESC.
Yeah.
You know, it's a little bit more rubber banding than that. So I don't know. It doesn't feel faster to me at all.
More comfy though.
It feels
honestly,
way more comfortable.
The flare and the tire.
Yeah, that's the thing. So here's where I'm sitting on it. It feels just like a regular Pint X to me, although that tire is pretty darn good. Way better than the Pint X tire, that stock Unili that comes with it. And those foot pads are way more comfortable than the Pint foot pads, just strictly for that extra real estate that you have, that width. And then the concave on it is like kind of non-existent. It's basically flat. It's flat, but it does have some kick, and the kick is pretty nice too, so your feet don't just go sliding straight off the end. So yeah, foot pads, way better. Tire, way better. Mag handle, we're just gonna take it off anyway, so that doesn't even matter. But out the box, I'd say it's significantly better than a Pint X, even without any sort of speed bump or anything. But I gotta tell you, that would not be my daily, just because of the fact that the Pushback kicks in at 18 and haptic buzz at 19. That's a straight deal breaker for me. But if that Pushback got kicked up to 20 and the haptic buzz at 21, then I'd say, yeah, it's a grocery getter for sure. But you know, again, disclaimer, maybe the firmware update in a couple of weeks fixes this issue. We don't know yet, but this is just how it is straight out the box from the factory on day one. I literally ordered this yesterday at launch. So yeah, and today's Friday. So, and you're probably watching this on Friday or Saturday, depending on how quick Julian can slap this together, and how the sooner we wrap this up, the sooner this video gets out there.
I feel like that's it. I had one more thing to say, but honestly, it
Jesse, did you have something to say while he's thinking about it?
Well, I mean,
how's the grip tape on the Chonklas?
grip tape on the Chonklas was, not gonna lie, kind of mid.
You don't have the recommended footwear for a vehicle of this stature.
The foot pads are definitely way better, just like you guys were saying.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that the firmware fixes it and makes it ride way sweeter.
Yeah.
Because it definitely just feels like a Pint X that's like kitted out the box.
Yeah, maybe there were some bugs in it that they wanted to work out before they got it out, but then why launch the board 3 weeks earlier than its update's ready? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they're gonna tweak it and it'll be different. Maybe they'll hear people's, calls for, hey, I want that extra 2 miles an hour you promised me. Yeah. Where is that? I'd really like that. I paid an extra $400 for it.
What I was gonna say,
$300 for it.
The cool thing I think that's different, and if we're like comparing this to the X as the S to just the regular GT is the price point. Because this essentially is like the same price as the Pint X was. So I'd be a lot more stoked spending that $1,400, $1,499 in getting this than I would like the X, because like the GTS to GT is not that price. The price point's not really there. It's like, you know, it's an extra grand for that.
That's a good point. What I would probably do if this is what I wanted, I don't care for the mag handle anyway, and I just take it off. So I would probably just buy a Pint X and then buy the tire or whatever other tire you want and buy the foot pads, and then you would end up saving $50.
Yeah, an update.
Right? And then you're getting the update anyway. So that would be cool. But then you don't get the cool black rails with the S logo on it. Maybe you want the cool black rails with the S logo on it, right? So.
True.
But there you go. You got options. To me, it feels like an upgraded trim package of the Pint X. It doesn't feel like the same jump from GT to GTS. You know, Pint X to Pint S. It doesn't feel like that kind of upgrade, but it's definitely a nicer board.
Right.
Definitely a nicer
Agreed.
board than the X. Rides great. My only real gripe with it is that speed and haptic buzz and pushback level. That's really my only gripe, other than, you know, just the basic firmware stuff that I'm not used to.
Yeah.
And the lack of custom shaping that I thought we were going to have out the box, that was a little surprising that we don't have that. But that's coming soon, apparently.
On the way.
But there you go. Anyway, you guys are probably sick of listening to us yap, so
I'm gonna ride it off to the sunset.
Hit the bonk, hit the bonk.
He won't do it.
Send it right.
He won't do it.
For
He's not
culture.
gonna do it.
Culture.
Ah, boo this man. Boo, boo.
If this video gets 1 million plays, I'll hit the bonk on this.
1 million plays. Hold on, my friends.
Good job.